from injury, but they are there. Absolutely there. Mitch is leading this race. Incredible. Was he then? Was he? Well, business as usual. Business as usual. I think we can expect to see a big tussle up front as they head towards the Black Ladder Centrum Ironberg. That's steep climb, the longest climb of the race. Absolutely wins. And Manny really knows the importance of bouncing early on in this race, getting them a little bit harder to get those lead changes later on the course. This is when you get towards Centrum Ironberg. They're going to do a right turn, and they have to keep it very steep climb. Got to keep on the gas. And Mitch now has got, I believe, to stay. He's got to keep that bit inside. He's got to. If that bit that goes, he makes so few mistakes around this place, it'll be hard to catch him. Look at them. Greasing that climb. No problem for the front runners. And then fast back down. You can't believe how fast they're going back down that. That is nearly vertical. Look at that from that Bickler. Crazy. Completely, absolutely crazy. It's just crazy how consistent Manny Bickler is. You can throw anything at him, the best all-rounder that the sport has ever seen. And you have a perspective for contrast. Later on, when we see some of the AMs and the private carriers go down the city, they're at all themselves in slow motion. I'll show you exactly how that. Wow. Just Johnny Walker that came through there. Yeah, it's right. Johnny Slade out there as well. No issue. Spoke to Johnny this morning. He said he's going to attack from the beginning. He's not going to pace himself. He's going hard all the way. Billy Ball style. Someone been taken. For all the viewers out there, unfortunately, Billy Bolt not competing due to injury, but we will have him in the booth later on in the show. So we look forward to that. We prefer to see him like on the bike, of course. Cool. Well, yeah, he's had a tricky week then, I think. Yeah, infection in that hand. It's an infection in the bone, and he's in a bit of trouble with the hand. So that's the man who finished second to him in the Super Enduro World Championship. Johnny Walker then up to fourth place. Kabashev. Look at that, fifth for him as well. So the big got duck guns that we thought were going to be at the front of there. This is hot enough. This is shaping up perfectly. Look at this. Tony Webb as well inside the top suspects, but we have.
Let's go, Manny. Let's go, Manny.
I mean, talk about it's great to see, two Austrian flags on that current leaderboard. Absolutely. James Wood in sixth, and Toby Martin. Toby Martin could be dangerous there as well. On seventh on the start. On the start. To the next two bikes. Yeah, and like I said, one of the only men to beat Tony Bow, the 39-time world champion in motorcycle trials. Toby Martin did that recently. He's the AMA 2024 AMA trials champion. He's got skills for this. He's adapted so quickly to no clutch on that start. I can't believe it, but he said you don't need it. It's got so much punch. You just don't need a clutch on that thing. So let's keep an eye on Toby as well. Another rider that could really excel in Carl's down. Yeah, I mean, some of these guys that have made that jump to the e-bikes, it's uncanny how quickly they've adapted with no clutch. And great.
Go, Manny.
Once they learn
You got it.
and we're actually capitalize on that torque, then all bets are off. That's right. And the tunability of those bikes in the different sections of the track, 5 modes, massive difference in that electric power. Nothing you can do like that on a petrol motorcycle. They've got big advantage. If I was in Carl's dinner, I would need a bike with cave mode. You need levitate mode. So just hover above it. Or Grand Jarvis mode. But right now, Johnny Walker is the danger man. He was the fastest between checkpoint 2 and 3, and the fastest between checkpoint 3 and 4. No way, he's on it then. On the move in the opener. God, Johnny Walker's really going. So it's wild when you think this is the 30th running, going all the way back to 1995. I mean, to have the vision for an event like this and to watch it evolve over the years takes a lot of passion, takes a lot of dedication, and it takes the fearless approach. And one man stands out, none other than Carl Cata. Some words from Carl.
Carl Kautic has overseen every single edition of the rodeo, all 30 so far. Back in 1995, he created what would become Ardendaro's most important race. Over the years, he and his team didn't just grow the event, they built a global phenomenon. It is no coincidence that the race's most notorious obstacle bears his name, as Carl's Dinner remains one of the quickest and most athletic sections of the entire race. Rumor consists that Kato, a retired Vienna city council official, still dreams of one day being just a single rider of the Bull which would be the ultimate record for the man who created Hardy Barrel's most infamous race more than 3 decades ago.
Carl Paddock, without a doubt, a Da Vinci of dirt. Some would say often like sadistic and masochistic, all mixed into one, but has done so much for the sport. As we are back, another one released out of Corey. Fairly clean start so far. We haven't seen too much carnage coming out of Corey. But they're quite nice to him this year. But a little less rocky than it can be using in the past. Flying kind. But on the road, these guys knowing that they're never going to make the finish. Try to see how many checkpoints they can get, how far they can go. Can they make it to Gosden? So our top 10 remain the same with Lettenbichler out front, followed by Mitch Brightmore and Tristan Hart. Teammate of Lettenbichler closely in pursuit. Remember, going back to last year, that back and forth with Tristan Hart and Lettenbichler, it was just one situation with Tristan losing that distance from Lettenbichler. Look at that. So I think that's Manny up front there, and Mitch is still right there with it. Exactly what we wanted to see. Also, not letting go away. Oh, right on the back fender. They both got stopped there, yeah. Yeah, Brightmore and Lettenbichler. Tristan still not in sight of these two, is he? No. So a little bit of work from Tristan Hart. He will be doing everything he can to get up there. But they have got an advantage at the moment. Wow. Mitch right where he wants to be, isn't he?
Wee.
Carl right where he wants to be.
I know that guy. That old man.
And we'll see him at the finish. Well, beginning a big chunk of run, that coveted piece of earth. 30th running of Red Bull Erzbergrodeo. The final line about to be released. Just over 1,800 competitors. Little down to 500. The last row is off. Here they go.
Come on, guys. Support the video.
To be fair, I like these guys. How far will they get around this thing? Yeah. Just a little less time for this back to 50. That 4-hour cutoff mark. You might be seeing some of these riders over at Central Manberg later. Don't want to, predict their but they might be there for I'll definitely have company over there. Yeah. Well, the top riders at the moment are going to the new driveway section. Paul Bolton this morning said there were a couple of changes, so and a little bit different to last year. Manny with a gap now a little bit. Looks like groups go there. Lettenbichler, right, that close gap there with Hart, Walker, and Matthew Green now in the conversation as well. Just on. See Tristan Hart just in the corner of the screen. Just starting to get into view now. And then if he can see him, that'll give him so much encouragement. Look at that feet up through there. That's insane riding. Look at that. And just the energy conservation on that. Everything about that. It seems to do that. Not everyone can ride that feed up. Look at this. Incredible to see that. It's like Tristan just putting it on, tipping it over there as we saw Johnny walk in the frame. And, this area of the mountain and of Carl's Dinner for that matter, it's likened to almost the topography you would see in Mars. Unrideable. James Moore coming in from South Africa. Slow to the place. Right on the wheel of Johnny Walker. Yeah. Sat down, just letting that bike do the work for him. 6'7", Rob. He's taller than you. He is 6 foot. Well, if I have to use those long legs in sections like that, is he 6'7", is he? 6'7". Why? A giant of a man then. No problem with pedaling for Jamesy. No. Speaking of giant man, Paul Terrace, I want to remind all the viewers out there, check his live YouTube feed and chime in with questions you have for the broadcast as we
jumped right back into it. A great back and forth with Lettenbichler, Brightmore, leading the group. Hart and Walker rounding out the top four. Like great pictures. And big shout out to our production team over 28 different cameras, 27 kilometers of fiber optic cable. That's 16.7 miles, and over 170 people working on the crew today. Thank you, gentlemen. Great pictures so far, and just so many spots to get tied up and just exhaust that reserve tank.
So many holes for your wheels to find. This section actually looking really nice and rideable, though. Plenty of grip on that rock there.
Well, comparatively to maybe the second section of Carl's Dinner Proper, it's just brutal.
That camera isn't good, huh?
It's absolutely ruthless in there. Yeah. Theodore looking like he's going backwards a little bit down the seventh now. So Batien will be struggling a bit at this early stage of this race.
Just that quick little touch.
Look at this.
Able to get through these.
Look at this. Man, he never gets stuck for long, does he? Just a pause there and go. And he just sets again. Look, trying to find traction and away he goes.
His ability to problem solve in real time. You watch how quickly he stands, assesses, and then attacks.
Yeah, there's absolutely no hesitation there. He knows where that back wheel is. He knows if it's going to get driving. It's back in the same section.
Comparison contrast. We just watched Manny go through this.
And look at that. Mitch is also just very composed. They don't panic. They don't waste energy.
Somewhat seamless as well.
Yeah.
Great to see Mitch Brightmore just find his flow right now.
Yeah. See where Tristan Hart is.
Check 1-8. They're going to start making their way back onto
the corner roads and make their way to Max Quest.
Holy shit.
Back to Vasaletun. And we're starting to see the pile on the traffic, pile up at the base, and wait for your opportunity.
That's true.
You see a lot of riders opting for that right angle.
Yeah, I think that's the old line that wants to go before they realise the flags are over there on the left. You know, a beautiful climb that is, though. You one thing when you come here on a mountain bike is there's nowhere else on the planet where you will hold a mountain bike wide open for as long as you do. It is absolutely incredible. So that's Tristan, isn't it? Off the bike.
Saw a little. If we had a discarded bike off the
Come on, Tristan. Come on, Tristan Hart. You got it, boy. You got Johnny Walker behind you.
And Mitch get through.
Johnny Walker's on fire.
Yeah.
He's going to try past Tristan.
Yeah, Johnny.
You got Johnny.
Before, very comfortable in these tight situations.
Yeah.
Has that finesse. Also has that ability to just calm the nerves. Yeah, incredible ability. Balance on that bike.
You're not, one of the only guys on 4-stroke. Definitely one of the
Come
only
on,
on 4-stroke. Is that a new line he's trying to forge there? Yes, direct then for James Moore. Made it happen as well. Oh, lovely riding. Look at them legs, man. Just sat on that rear mud guard all the way on that back wheel. Spider-Man.
Different very well clinics on. But again, the top riders, bottleneck starting to just behind. Wow.
And look at it. Just rolling up the legs, trying to make it almost impossible. Let's look how exhausted it is as well. Honestly, you can make less than 10 meters and absolutely go.
And you're not even 3 minutes into the race.
No.
It's just. Lettenbichler, Brightmore still out front. Christian Hart, Johnny Walker. Nice tight battle and reconvene for laboratory. Oh, this line that they've lined up this year is definitely a little bit more challenging.
Yeah, and there's Erzbergrodeo. That can be good as well.
Moving really moving. Look at that.
It's like 10 for Ash.
Yeah, last year he was playing by injury. And had good stuff this year.
This is more like
Damn.
It's starting to settle in, yeah.
it's like yes, it's like it's a big strong lad, the Cornish strong.
Interesting. So I didn't get that balance, that grip,
just wide, no clutch on those Starks, of course. A mad concept, really, to anyone who's been riding a mountain bike all their life, but totally adapted, he said, in like 48 hours. Didn't remember at all about the clutch.
You know, we've been waxing nostalgic, just like, oh, are we gonna miss the smell of two-stroke and the sound?
And hopefully it's in a few years away. I think so. Where's the Wizard of Ours? Ryan Jarvis. Huh? Where is he? I wonder where he is at the moment.
How Graham likes to operate. You write him off, and then he appears out of the forest.
He likes to come through from the back.
Yeah,
Saving himself for the almost impossible sections.
yeah.
Which is most of it. But yeah, good to see. Tristan R still there in third, chasing Mitch, chasing Manny Lettenbichler. Walker in a strong position there in fourth as well. Another big climb for Manny.
Again, just that quick touch, assess.
It's just watch him place that back wheel and just push it into the ground where he needs to. He just makes that back wheel grip for every.
You're a motherfucker, Manny.
You can see
He is absolutely a genius, and that he's gifted. Look, just relax, doesn't push, just waits for that back wheel to find the traction, trying to let the bike do all the work. Textbook from Lettenbichler. Okay. That's why he's already a four-time winner.
Watch that, repeat, and watch it again. That is exactly how you approach situations like that.
Mitch on it now as well. Aggressive as well up there. Look at the drive Mitch has found. That's insane up there.
Oh,
that was beautiful riding then by Mitch Brightmore. So he's still managing to keep Lettenbichler very much in touch here. Look, incredible.
this is where Billy got stuck a couple of years.
Yeah.
4 goes of this, you remember?
That was insane for Mitch Brightmore.
16 run.
Oh, yeah.
Insane for
Good
him.
dog.
He would have gained some time back there for sure.
Oh, Brightmore battling,
Woo-wee.
staying in step with Lettenbichler.
Yeah, man, that was
That was a good one.
oh, good to see as well.
He came into this with fresh
Damn.
people. This is where he really got calculated. And this is what's very important. The way that he's able to think through situations.
So, didn't even stop in that turn. Just, he turns it and he goes without hesitation. That's the difference between his comparison. Sit down and just keep that halfway forward. Really, really good job by Mitch Brightmore.
Yeah. Keep the hits coming, as we can see, that trying to distance himself. And while that looking for a possible 5 feet. What we see it here at the historic 40th range of the 2046 Red Bull Erzbergrodeo. Lettenbichler out front, sitting on 4 back-to-back wins. Mitch Brightmore enjoying the best competitive season yet so far, coming out the second at XL Lagares.
As they hit their way down, make their way down into Carlsbad Light. The first piece of Carlsbad before they head back out over the mountain, and the real Carlsbad comes a little bit later.
You've got to have 70%. I can tell you. Wow, that is like the most brutal piece of terrain ever ridden on a motorcycle.
So just to put it into perspective, the lowest level of Carlsbad is the easier one, smaller rocks, still very, very long.
Yeah.
And then back into the forest, and then a little bit later on, they're going to come into the really, really big rocks. The higher level of Carlsbad.
It's a light tuna tartare.
It's
Hit the full.
the appetizer. What is the appetizer?
T-bone tomahawk steak later.
I think if Mitch is close enough to Manny there to see what he does, to see the holes that Manny might fall in, you can get deep checks there, but he's obviously got to be in touch with him.
Yeah.
But let's see how this unfolds. He's pretty much there still at the moment, Mitch Brightmore.
And also, this is a good chance for the guys to see where their competition is. They can look back.
Yeah.
They'll be able to, see where they're at.
That's right. They go one way, then the other, right?
All right, there's so much focus right now, obviously, on those at the top of the sport, the likes of Lettenbichler. But a big part of what fuels Red Bull Erzbergrodeo are the amateurs. And we're going to be checking in and hearing from all of them today. Let's check in with one of the finest right now.
Hey, ich bin Rainer von Almen, ich bin 24 Jahre alt und ich komme aus der Schweiz, aus dem schönen Berner Oberland. Für mich war es wirklich ein kleiner Traum, mal hierher zu kommen und irgendwo das ganze Event zu sehen. Ich glaube, das Mitmachen ist da im Vordergrund, wo wir Erfahrung sammeln und den Tag werde ich überhaupt nicht nach Hause gehen, ich glaube, es war's. ja, ist auf jeden Fall eine Sportart, die mich sehr fasziniert, die ich selber sehr gerne mache. Das adaptive, schnelle Agieren, Reagieren, was auf dem Skifahren zu mir kommt. Und ja, natürlich den Adrenalinkick, den man auf mein Bike-Setup ist eine Champions Edition, die ich da fahre, in 3 und 2 Tagen. Das Einzige, was ist die Auspuffanlage, die Max Adovic drauf hat. Sonst ein ziemlich originales Bike, was ich da fahre. Leistung muss ich schon im Skifahren zeigen. Für mich ist dies hier privat die Freude, die dahinter steckt. Am Motorradfahren nicht wirklich um den Wettkampf selber, um mich selber ein bisschen zu challengen und etwas zu beweisen.
Three-time Olympic champion, and it's so cool to see the likes of these crossover athletes. I believe he's somewhere between first and second checkpoint. We'll be checking back in and seeing how his race day goes. But man, you just love the variety and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely mad to see a three-time Olympic champion.
And eyes on Beckman still just slowly calculating his climb.
Dude, that was a big move there. Look at that. Just holding off there.
And of course, yeah, lots of care not to damage the back. You don't want to be smashing your way through the dinner. This is where you can really damage your back.
Damage your bike, damage yourself. Yeah, tap into that reserve.
Radiator owners, we're talking about Prince exhaust pumps, broken foot pegs, and of course broken limbs.
I will say this too: watching the change for the brothers Brightmore, Ashton and Mitch, since they went to X-Grip. I mean, you're seeing just a completely different gear from both of them, and to watch Mitch Brightmore just evolve before our eyes is such a cool thing to experience.
And there's the gap in real time. Manny is pulling away from Mitch now in Carl's dinner here, that's for sure. That's a fair advantage now for Manny. Beat down, just keeps it paddling, keeps it moving all the way through here.
So expectations from contest organizers, they expect about 150 competitors to make it to Carl's dinner last. Take that out of the 500. Just even make it this far, you consider it a win.
There's no getting away from the physicality of this. No matter who you are, that is a lot of leg work, a lot of pulling. Oh man.
How many people are going to make it through Carl's dinner? That's the question.
Even less. How is maybe less than?
I think even half that again.
Yeah. About 30. Oh, do the abacus. I think really quickly jump on the abacus at about 25 to 30 in Carl's dinner proper.
Mitch Bratton there now, we can kind of like an idea of the distance now between the two of them.
Mitch just eating up some meters there, feet up, beautiful riding from him.
27 seconds. Doesn't sound like Mitch.
But look at, I love the visual on here, just seeing the distance. What seems like just, 100 feet, but that must feel like a mile right now.
Tristan Hart another 53 seconds behind the duo.
And it's like just watching too the genesis of watching Manny and his father Andreas winning. I should point out too, you ask him what his main hobby has been, and he's like, well, my dad did this, my daughter Ella.
Yeah,
it's so cool to see just these riders grow up and then evolve into just current legends of the sport. Trying to stay in step, and you bring up a good point, Rob. It's so vital that he keeps Manny in his eyesight.
We know that Mitch's bike probably works really well, and Manny himself saying that Mitch, because he's lighter, it feels like he can run the suspension a little bit softer, and that will be an advantage in places like Carl's. Not that Manny is doing too badly at all through here.
Just if you look at the body language of Carl,
You do.
yeah. But just the body language of Emil Beckler is just so relaxed.
And he will be cooking in that helmet. Like his head will be melting in there. He's still got his goggles on, I believe, hasn't he? That's a good sign that he's not overcooking yet. The goggles are still on.
For Manny, he was leaned on 2 wheels. Obviously, right, Andres, his father, a champ here, and just a legendary figure, but thousands and thousands of hours on 2 wheels. It's almost like an extension of his body. It shows the way that he's able to manipulate that bike. It's just such an incredible thing to witness.
And he's just, on top of all that, He is so natural on a bike. You want to see him on a mountain bike. Any bicycle, motorbike, two wheels, Manny Victor is something special. But probably never performed better than right now. When you see him at this, the Red Bull Erzbergrodeo, eating it up. The harder it gets, the better Manny gets. That's the bike there, just spun it up on some loose rock. And some of these sections, you know, you're staying on the bike going and having a look at them. I personally, look where he is. You just can't believe where he's marked. Like, it's ludicrous. This is crazy.
I mean, for those that are new to hard enduro, yeah, I think you first set eyes on this, and it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense because what's it for 30 years?
It is part of that is it's not supposed to.
No, that's right.
It's not supposed to be easy. But just that it's really pushing the bikes to the limit and pushing their own physical abilities to the limit. It's we're just in Carl's Dinner Light. It's going to get more intense. And they double back around into Carl's Dinner proper.
Yeah, mad, absolutely mad. Mitch Stoke still
T-shirt on lights.
The next time we see him, we'll see that advantage. That gap's got any bigger. They both looked phenomenally strong, I thought, in this section.
Yeah. Straight great POV here with perspective on it. Kind of you see the distance in the movement up there. Things starting to back up in Carl's Dinner Light here. It's the 10th checkpoint, 27. All competitors need to finish up in that 4-hour mark.
And these guys showing us a little bit more just how hard this is. It's taking a little bit longer than they're up to watch. You know, less fluid, looking where the wheels are, looking where they're going to put their foot down next.
Teo Kovacev lying currently in fifth.
Just found something with a front wheel that stopped him dead. There he is, he's up on it now.
Reflecting back on that graphic, it's just astounding that for Manny Letnick, we're only 45% of the race completed so far.
Yeah, James is worthy in the picture now, so Teo's made a move on James.
6 and 7 of him. This is where he's going to need those legs.
Well, it's the first time that he's actually been able to race Erzberg, race Carl's Dinner. So he's trying to preserve a little bit of energy maybe and stay with the leaders at the same time.
Yeah.
Slight tip over there.
I think James Moore too proved himself. I'm part of the conversation. I've proven that I can hold my own with these guys. Did he not?
Junior world champion, 19 years old. Long road ahead of him if he's doing this well already.
Yeah, he's making great progress there. I mean, look at him. Just keeping that leader going forwards all the time. Oh, look at that. He's up on the back wheel. That's it.
Left back where. Left back where.
Well, this is the checkpoint where Graham lost 2 Erzbergs, right? I mean, he still got 5 wins.
Right. And they came back after that and said, I'm going to do
it. He got disqualified twice here for missing the checkpoint, which was really, really easy back in the day.
Yeah.
Not quite as well batted off as we see it here.
Jarvis said, fool me once, okay, bad on me. Fool me a second time, also bad on me, and he came back and won.
You could almost put it still there.
Mitch is still there. Here he comes. Still just about in sight of that bit. He did pull too much time out of him in Carl's Dinner.
Right, or
look how hard it is. And, you know, speaking of Graham Jarvis, where is he? Second row start.
Yeah.
On his Jarvis. I'll be interested to see how far he manages to work his way up with that.
I mean, what's interesting about Frambo, he's able to make up time and distance in areas where we've seen him make up astounding distances, just even in Carl's Dinner.
Yes, exactly. That's usually where he strikes.
One hole, you can throw away like 15, 20 minutes.
You get stuck, you got it. Yeah, that's right. Mitch still keeping the pressure on Manny at the moment, that's for sure.
This is where we are on the iron ore giant. So right there, Barry is a Latin big in first in that chasing group.
And the bottom of your screen at the moment, you can see George Avenue. So after this, they're going to do George Avenue and then get into Machine.
And it looks like just a fun ride right now from the bottom on the screen. It'll be full.
And the top row there of Carl's Dinner is what you're going to see Once they go, come back from the back of the mountain.
Is third place Tristan Hart then?
North America's finest, and Tristan also just been on fire.
Yeah.
Back home in the States and finding the top of the podium.
5 out of 6 he's won in that USR Enduro Series this year. Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, also being incredible on a sled. So I'm gonna say he put the Stoke and Russell Stoke where why? He's got skills. He's like Manny. If it's got an engine on it, I can do some damage.
But he's proven he's strong, and we know how motivated he is. We know how much he wants this. He's still not out of touch, you know. He's not that far behind Mitch now.
It's interesting. I saw Tristan in an interview, and he was talking about how many years he's going to do this. He's like, no ground, in terms of you're not going to see me. You see, because I know Cody Webb. I can't. I mean, the way that Cody's riding at a level at his age is just unbelievable.
But by saying that he's a 5 times AMA Hard Enduro champion and a 2-time AMA Enduro Cross champion. So
I know, but he's he was just saying maybe I think he'll surprise himself. I think we know the addictive quality of this sport. So.
And Tristan's got 3 podiums here. He's got 2 thirds and a second, and he definitely wants to beat this man.
Yes.
Manny Leitzenbeckler.
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody?
Fellow teammate and Thorne.
My money. Got it.
Look at him just assessing where he goes, taking the time there, just like, yeah, I'm going to go there, front wheel on that again. Makes very few bad decisions, doesn't he, Manny? Absolutely feel perfect through there.
You can see him too, the way that he
Mitch, like, caught up by Tristan, I think.
yeah. And then,
Tristan Hart is coming. He's now making good himself in.
and just like that, you can take that kind of separate line.
Oh, look at that. There goes second place.
You will pass there by Tristan Hart.
Oh, now, Mitch, can you follow Tristan then? Can he get off Tristan Hart? Tristan Hart, this is it. He is going right now. So Tristan Hart,
This time he's had time to. He's got no jet lag or anything like that. He's got no injuries this time. Last year he came in with an injury.
yeah.
He does have a knack for somehow getting injured. But he says the thing he hates the most is flying on the plane. So
Who doesn't?
yeah.
But as you said, his preparation's been better than ever, Darryl, right? He said he's been on the bike in Austria 3 or 4 times before this event, which normally he doesn't manage to do. So,
And last year he got a fifth year, but remember his bucket balls came loose on the back, so he had to take
so much time.
So frustrating when you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, and you get that mechanical.
Yeah.
And I do like too back home when he's in Revelstoke, but he trains in the winter, able to go to Vancouver Island, and it's all wet and greasy there.
Yeah.
Good training for sure.
And like you said,
It's seeing back and forth that battle for second between Tristan Hart, Mitch Brightmore, followed by Johnny Walker and Kabachiev, rounding out the top 5. Michael Wagner entering the top 10.
no,
Well, yeah. So Wagner, one of Austria's finest.
So Wagner, of course, he took a year off, and he's been racing in the Italian Championships. He's currently lying second in the Italian Championships.
Wow.
Really, really good Enduro Championship in Italy.
these 3 working together, picking the same line there must be a bit of an advantage.
Able to kind of capitalize on that.
If anybody's going to beat Manny, it's going to be one of these 3, Mitch, Tristan, or Johnny.
Yeah, they come off.
And then we've got James Moore and Taylor, also fight for that 5th position, changing spots every now and again. They're right on each other at the moment.
But look at that. Mitch has stayed with Tristan Hart. Actually, he's getting a toe off him, perhaps. Right now for Manny.
So now we watch.
This is George Avenue. Big, long climb. You got to keep the gas on all the way from the bottom. There's a little clip there, there's the top. And another little steep piece to get out.
Oh, Manny making it look easy up there.
Where's the second part is going to get it now?
Such a big climb. How's he got up that like that? Incredible.
Unbelievable perspective there. You watch how that finesse, that perfect balance by Lettenbichler. Incredible pictures. And tell you what, you can reflect back on the first broadcast. It wasn't that long ago, but it was a Herculean effort. Let's take a look back at that first ever stabbing.
For years, the live television industry considered the Red Bull Erzbergrodeo impossible to broadcast live. The sheer scale of the venue, the vast number of cameras required, and the thousands of meters of fiber optic cable that would need to be laid across the iron joint made the challenge seem insurmountable. That all changed in 2012, when the Red Bull Media House dared to attempt what no TV production entity had attempted before.
All right, well, Chris and I will wave to the audience here and say hello and welcome to the Erzbergrodeo.
Led by a determined team of professionals, the ambitious mission became reality. Despite extreme weather conditions disrupting preparations throughout the week. A power outage, large-scale flooded areas, and a TV helicopter grounded due to low-hanging clouds still did not stop the crew from delivering the first ever 5-hour live broadcast from the Erzberg. Since then, every edition of the Red Bull Erzbergrodeo has been broadcast live. Audiences all around the world.
And we have come a long way. Our booth has come a long way since the first one, but I talked about it earlier. 27 kilometers of fiber optic cable, 16.7 miles, 170 people, 28 different cameras. So thank you, Red Bull, and thank you, fans, for making it possible as we got eyes on Johnny Walker and his climb.
He's working hard. That 250 doesn't have the power of those 302 strokes, that little 4-stroke. But yeah, he's up there. That would have been absolutely singing on the stop all the way up there. But Johnny's having a great Bull Erzberg, isn't he?
No. I mean, we've seen it to Johnny all the time. You know, like last year when he's kind of jumped on the Triumph, looked so comfortable.
He's done to go there, some fuel in the tanks and running a bit of water down his neck. New goggles and he'll be on the way again.
There's no help zone except for the electric bikes. It's going to take them about a minute.
That was a quick one for Lettnickler. And back to double fault. So see the rest of the pack.
That's Warhol from the UK. It's Continental in the background, another South African. Carter's never finished the Erzberg, and that's.
Oh, I stalled it. I got electric stuff.
Yeah, with these top knuckles just gets carved out.
That was the first time that rock. Another rock slide out behind it. Now he's there. That's how steep these climbs are. Look how deep the rock has just been dug out over the years. Oh, absolutely exhausted. It's pretty hot outside as well today.
Well, it's the finish line, so get out of that. So both of them do want to make it to the finish line.
Wait for it, Warren. So he's feeling there. You were pointing out a little movement with Tristan Hart.
Yeah, so right now, checkpoint 11 and checkpoint 12. Tristan has been the fastest. He's made it about 27 seconds already. So many better lookouts.
Wow, we said it, and now we're seeing it. That's insane.
Yeah. A lot of distance there that Tristan now made up for as he sits in second. We saw Mitch Brightmore getting refueled there. Just in third place behind him, followed by Johnny Walker and Gabachi in fifth place. That movement, just methodical, so precise, so perfect. His approach.
I'm not sure. What do you think, Daryl? Is it advised to be the first in these super loose sections like this? I mean, he's climbing for those following. They can see where he's gone and turned a few rocks out. I don't know.
No, I think Machine is pretty worn out, so it's pretty much going to be the same for everybody. Where it really makes a difference is the first time you get into the really, really slippery section.
Yeah.
We're going to see in segue later on.
Yeah, that's right.
Because when the line gets broken and it's quite wet out there, I think that everybody, the flip guys definitely made a disadvantage. But yeah, pretty much the same for everybody.
And let's not forget, every mistake that you make, Danny is about 10 minutes ahead. No, what? You gotta be kidding me. Hart.
Tristan Hart is on money net and big club.
And this is all.
So he's a case to see quicker Pat as well. He's coming from the back. He is faster than Manny to a quarter.
Did you see too the look back that Lettnickler gave Tristan Hart? Oh, it's so quick.
Nice, he knows he's got a fight on his hands.
Yes, Manny will go now. If he hasn't been already, now we're going to see him come up again, I think.
The helmets are on, but the gloves are off.
Tristan is coming soon. Tristan is absolutely
Oh, this guy from Tristan Hall. Money a little bit further up. He's digging. He's to see this. This is going to be a fight now.
Just the comments, you know, when it was lit, it was a little bit better, but today's watch, it's really dried out. It's so Mississippi.
Looks like yeah, he'll double back here. Yeah, that similar line.
Just turning it around. Yeah, it's so steep. It's difficult to do it.
And
Midfield as well. Yeah.
coming back in third, we see Johnny Walker and Nick Franklin closing the gap.
Letting Victor obviously dive again at the top. Now it's Tristan Hart as well there. Both the factory KTM riders are pushing, allowing Mitch Brightmore to close back up. Oh, we could have a three-way when they come out on top of him. This is insane. Tense.
I love to see this back and forth. You love to have it in with one look here. You can just see how tight. And just let Victor's ability to feel that pressure,
Yeah.
and still stay on point, stay focused.
In the last check, Johnny Walker's also made up about 20 seconds on Mitch Brightmore, so Johnny's also on the move.
It was a nice exit by Manny and Victor. Let's see if Tristan can get it as well. The heart rate will be up after fight and we're up there, that's for sure.
Right, so super interesting from here. We're going to head back over the mountain into a really bad forest section. So we've got those stuff. We've got sketch an elevator, Cuckoo's Nest, the back of the mountain.
It's going to get insanely difficult in those trees, that's for sure. Still be wet in there as well, Darryl, won't it, from the rain we had?
Yeah, never dries up to the forest, and it's one of the most difficult sections of the race. If Manny can get out of that section in front, you'll be in a good way to get into Carlsden after that.
But what is going through Tristan Hart's head right now? He has managed to catch Manny and Victor.
Every single section that he can pin it, and like just close that gap, he absolutely will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, just right where be in that spot where you're exchanging the lead back and forth. You know it's within your grasp. But again, you have to be at that. You have to be close enough where you can capitalize on those mistakes. That's the only time we've seen like the option, the ability to take a win for Manny. Manny has had to falter, and it's the rider that can capitalize on it.
Mitch Brightmore was a two-time junior world champion, and now he knows he's at the level. He knows he can beat the leaders.
You just have to taste it and just get close enough.
And he did. Tagara has excelled, isn't he? That's the thing. That's where that confidence has come from. But it's Tristan Hart, really. I think we've got to keep an eye on. He's really on the move. It looked to me like he was actually, like, maybe most overtaking it and Victor in that last section. So, yeah.
Right at the line. Making his way along the bottom of Carlsden Island.
There's nothing light about it at all. Here's Manny again.
Yeah, just again the
Wow.
confidence and how calm and collected is just on the most basic pivot.
Remember as well, when the Sky Rock ripping those super soft compound tyres, they have a part. By the time they get the Segway, they won't have a lot of knobbles left, a lot of traction left for those muddier times that are coming. And adding how difficult it will be.
A lot of the discussions have been what's then the biggest part of the evolution, and without a doubt,
Yes,
absolutely, this is the correct tire.
Yeah, tyres from in this thing.
A little bit of a chance to catch his breath. But man, when they get back over this hill, it's straight into that slippery forest I was telling you about.
Chance to cool down now a little bit, a few seconds. Get some wind in that helmet. And where is Tristan now? That's what I want to know.
Machines.
Yeah. That's the exit we spoke about, how difficult it is. We're starting to see now.
Battle still going on with Temsmo and Taylor Kovachev, and there's actually right in the background. So,
Kovachev to get out front.
that's a big fight.
Roman!
They've been swapping leads probably the last 5 times in the last couple of times.
Gio. A little bit It's out of that pile up back on Speed Week machine. Trying to reel in Johnny Walker, Tristan Hart, and Manuel Lettenbeckler leading the charge as we just hit the first hour of competition.
Mario.
Holding last year. Big confidence coming in this one. He's going forward, you know, he's still right there where he needs to be. And this nice overtaking James Moore. That's the Kagachi we have seen not just this season, last season. Some great matches, of course, with Kagachi last year in the main event. So he's gotten so good at knowing when to pounce, and hard in the gym training.
Man, he just set the fastest time now on checkpoint 14, so I think he's realized he's got a bit more now. He's responding, he's turned the gas on a bit.
It's mad that he's perhaps riding a little bit more conservatively. He has got somewhere to go. That's pretty impressive to me.
I think there's a point where you're going to manage a race. We've been talking about racecraft. And then there's the fright. Oh, somebody's here. Yeah, let's get going.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mile, I mean, a minute still, like more than a mile.
Yeah, if you watch the pace of the guys in some of the earlier races, especially with Billy Bolt and Manny and the guys, it's really like a motocross race. There's no chance to conserve energy. Look at the Getsons. It's all in the, it's a sprint.
Where's your racing script every year? It's hard drama, hard driven, but we've seen a similar storyline with Manny before, where we can take back and forth, and then once Manny just gets it, you give him just a little bit of distance, and he runs away with it.
Right, there's the elevator.
Steve over this section, of course, I believe of snow in years past.
Well, it's a little bit like your city. You can have rain and snow and heat wave on the same day. Yesterday was freezing cold and wet, and today it's like blazing hot.
But Tristan is now nearly a kilometre behind Manny, so I'm not sure where he's lost that time, where he's lost that. Yeah, it's a lot of space, isn't it, a kilometre?
And of course, Tristan and Mitch Bright are still together.
Yeah. But Manny, on the blue, I think, don't you? So he's pulling away from him again.
Lettenbeckler, Hart, Breitner in the top three. Dieter Rudolph now in 10th position, just behind U.S. rider LeBlanc. Mario Roman gaining some ground there in 8th place. Ashton Brightmore in 7th, and James Moore in 6th.
That's right. Mario Roman will be a new team for him this year as well.
Yeah. A lot of teams, like a lot of shuffling. Here, new teams have been a lot of moving around, and so I'm excited to see some new faces and some new sponsors.
Eddie Carlson, there.
Yeah, it's like that.
So there's the 1 minute for that.
So Eddie Carlson, Swedish rider, he's won 10 Swedish trial championships. And he managed some close last year himself.
And that's the one that stands out for me. I mean, this, the Romaniacs, that constant, the stamina that you need to take as a competitor, but then the bike, actually. That's what really kind of opened my eyes.
It's quite interesting talking to Eddie over the last couple of days about the power of the bike. Made a mistake on the prologue, it turned up 60 horsepower. It was too much. So they really got 55 horsepower on the prologue and different settings for the forest, slippery stuff. So
yeah, that's the tunability of those bikes while they're on the course. Is the riders can, absolutely, you can't do what they can do with mapping on a petrol bike. So, yeah.
Adaptation though, because they don't have a clutch, so they really get used to working with a brake.
Yeah.
So they use the throttle and the left brake, which is your rear brake. So you go here, or 10 in by.
You can see that line and the lean pack right now. So they start to move in. And those of you just joining us, let's take a quick look at where we are now. start with earlier than Manuel. If we're focused on a 5-peat, a fairly clean start. Would you agree?
Yeah. But it was Mitch Brightmore.
He looked like he was putting the pressure on Manny, and Manny was an early mistake there. Other really Manny, a little behind his back. And I got get to that point. Next to very much in touch. And Brightmore in the conversation with the back and forth with Manny. And there was this nice moment here. Where that Nickler decides you take the ball on, I'll take the lawyer. You play Boston. Take it from here. And now Tristan Hunt has into the conversation. His teammates. Hope it's safety of Mitch Brightmore. And he runs to go. That's how close he was to the back hill of the German. Things have opened up again now a little bit. But the whole race, the race is over there in the shoe. So the one rider looking for a 5-peat, Manuel Lettbickler, looking like he is right in that rhythm he was hoping for. Little 4 down. Enters that lower section. Just under the 3-hour mark. 3 hours of forward. I believe we're seeing last year, Manny was right under that. Was it 2 hours? 2 hours 11, 2 hours 14. So just under the halfway mark for our top riders.
And there you go, Graham Jarvis. We were just talking about him now on the Jarvis. Starting on the second row and starting to carve his way through the field.
These are the sections where you feel like you can really excel. He actually told me he could almost do the whole event on 5 batteries. So it'd be a little bit risky for him. But look at that.
After my life's going to take him to change his battery, he said, well, I've never done it on my own.
Well, this is a notorious section for Graham in a good way. See, where he's caught up many times. He was talking, he was talking about I believe it was at Rodero's, one of the matches he was in, and he said he was in limp mode. Which is the lowest econ mode.
Yeah.
And I think they got to Billy did.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's just they can lower the power so much the bike can't spin. Yeah, they can find traction with it. There's lots of advantages to them. And look at this. This is just vintage Graham. 51 years of motorcycle trials and hard enduro.
No more decorated.
Can't do.
No more decorated rider than Graham. He's ready to prove promoting his new Jarvis.
That's right. Incredible. 51 years, still got an appetite for this on a Sunday.
And just there's so much conversation about Carl's dinner, but the brutality of Speed Week machine equally devastating to those that can just finesse their way up it.
Carl Flanagan there, red kit, white helmet, sits in front of him, Matty Green from South Africa. 2 of them are good friends on and off the track. And of course, Carl, lost able to finish, ruptured a radiator hose, overheated his bike. He wants this finish so badly. Matty Green's finished the last 4 Erzbergs, so it looks like the pace is good. Maybe Carl's going to make the finish.
We're catching up with Matt. He's definitely in a good headspace, right? He's definitely, in terms of the training and just the attitude and everything seems like it's in alignment with him.
Yeah, he's just having so much fun at the moment. And I spoke to you for the prologue, and he said, you know what, I'm so excited to get out there.
Right now, it's just delivering that.
And this is so much more difficult for the leaders of it because the lines are filled up. You can't see ahead. People are in your way. People are trying to come by you. You're blind. Overheating in your helmet. You cannot believe how physical it is to make one of these bikes go anywhere on this kind of terrain. It's insane when it gets this difficult.
And especially with the heat, I mean, we're absolutely cooking in the commentary. Gone out here, and it's blazing hot outside. So dehydration could play a part a little bit later on in the race.
It will, I think, but it's this hot. I was at British one man one a couple of years ago. Got off the bike. Everywhere he was, I couldn't believe the condition of him. Just it proved how hard he'd gone.
People ask me, what is Erzberg like? And I'm like there's grown men that cry and throw up in 3 to 5 minutes. It's that difficult, and they willingly take it. They ask for it.
Well, like once a year,
It's a different thing, but it's a good. Also goes straight into the hard enduro scene. He has finished that week before.
I have to let Nick run hard. standing up like just under 2.5 minutes.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Brightmore just a minute behind Mitch Brightmore, just a minute behind Tristan Hart.
35-kilometer reach, 21 kilometers in, and it's going to get more and more difficult as we get towards the end.
And that's the reality of Zip from Hamburg. I'll be over there soon, actually hopefully interviewing some of those riders. There's a lot of bikes that look like they've just been abandoned now. They've been abandoned. Look, they've just given up. he might be crying, this guy here. I'm going to go over there and take him.
You're gonna have like the orchestra pit seats.
They all the people at the bottom just hoping, looking for an opening to tackle this guy.
Billy Holt is going to be joining us in the room, and Rob's going to be out there getting front and center. And we should point out, throughout the entire course, it's a no help, but they can't help each other. You see, back in the day, you get guys with the grappling hooks that we see, especially in Guessing Rodeo.
Yeah.
But these guys are able to help each other.
It looks like it's got a tow rope on front of that bike. Oh, look at this. So this is back at Vassalita, and this guy is winding it up. He's aggressive. Another bump there. Now he's got to get hard on the power. The front is lifting left and right, and he's somehow calmed that down. And he's found traction. He's found speed here. I think he's going to make it. This is incredible. Fish left and right. So close, but so far. I agree with him. The hands hit. I thought he got it, didn't you?
That's a full Brandon Busselmeyer from Germany.
Yeah, that's a long way back down. Have another go. Believe me, no one's gone down Vassalita faster than our lead host Ed Lee yesterday, who got a bit of trouble. Yeah,
the struggle is real here. At Red Bull Erzbergrodeo, like that no other spot one step from on earth. Well, I mean, just the camaraderie, the competition, and the struggle, and just how hard it is. The contrast too. The contrast that we saw earlier, when you watch the film, was lays up it.
Yeah.
The difference is just staggering.
Yeah. No disrespect to anyone who puts on the start line of the Red Bull Erzbergrodeo. You've got to be one heck of a rider, even if they make it to the quarry floor. You know what I mean? Like, they're not.
No, let's talk about even going from the 1800 wheel down to 500.
Yeah, exactly.
You make it to the 500. You are in a crew amongst a crew.
Even if it doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we know on screen.
So, I don't know, great news. So, Paul Watson is just giving me a call. Johnny Walker sticks with the radiator.
No! He's out.
He's out.
It's just in Johnny Walker Mechanicals hit through the radiator. Paul Bolt's checking in from the field. He's out amongst the riders. We'll be hoping to get check-ins with Bolt's throughout the competition. So, that's got to be gutting.
He got it for Johnny. I knew he was so prepared and he was looking so good, man.
Yeah, he was. He was really brilliant today, wasn't he?
The bike was looking really good.
Yeah, really would have been really fired up on that four-stroke as well. There's no salvaging that. Sadly, his day is done.
Back on double fall, the checkpoint 11 of 27.
Actually, quite on the moves. Well, up to fifth, just behind Theodore. Just behind Mitch. Tristan in second. Is Manny still leading? He stepped back with a sizable lead now, we think.
So Eddie Carlson making the move into the conversation, the top 10 on an e-bike.
Look at that.
Absolute carnage out there. Central Berg. Rob, just look at that. You were there last year. What was the atmosphere like last year?
It looks like the mountain is hatching like motorcyclists.
Yeah, there was an incredible moment there last year. Just before the buzzer went, a guy that had been trying about 5 or 6 times somehow made it to a point where they could hook him on, and they did get him up and over. It was a magical Erzberg moment.
Yeah.
Not looking much better as last year.
You're seeing just as much
Oh.
carnage. That's the 9th checkpoint of 27. Just getting caught in that webby. That's something you do not want to deal with. And just the pile up, it becomes a sig alert situation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like block. There's no way for any kind of run up, so you just got to puzzle your way out.
It's like lemmings driving into the drain.
Since going, we're in big trouble there.
Yeah. I mean, this is the motomasochism. I mean, this is what they live for. Look at the size of that boulder.
You cannot truly appreciate the magnitude of the climbs until you come and visit Erzberg for the first time. Everybody that comes here, they're like, are you kidding?
You have to get your eyes on it. Just the height behind our sound booth down into the quarry.
It's the scale of the place.
Easily 40 degrees.
It's the scale of the place. And the steepness of the place. It takes a couple of days on a motorbike before you even start to feel comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Okay, one-way train. They are going to be making their way up towards Chris's Stone Party and Udo's Playground, where they're going to cross back over the mountain and head towards Carl's Dinner. That's where we are at the track at the moment.
Do you see any moment on the course that Tristan can capitalize on an opportunity to pull in Letten Bickler?
This might be a one-way train. Look how difficult this is.
I want to see what the gap looks like as they come out of the forest, and they would have a really good idea. Then it's just a lot of stony climbs. It opens up a little bit. We'll be able to get eyes on the riders. I think back to where it's called. We'll get a true sense of the gaps.
I can almost imagine when Letten Bickler is in the woods, he's on his own, it almost goes zen for him.
This is insane. Manny really off the bike sharp. This is so insanely difficult. Now gets a little bit of weight on that rear mudguard, trying to get some traction with that back wheel as well. And he's up there, he's done it. And this is where he's so good because he never gets stuck along. Look where he is.
This is a new section. This is I mean, it's a 30th edition. The guys have made a couple of tweaks to the course. I don't think anybody's written this before. This fresh.
And if you look at the next thing that he's having to do, I think it stresses the point how steep, how difficult. This is Manuel Letten Bickler, the best of the best.
And you were asking a question a little bit earlier about is it better to get first or last? And in this case, he's going to find the way.
Yeah.
And really, really difficult to be the first one up there.
Virtual mountain here as we jump above the Iron Giant here, getting us a good perspective. We see Tristan Hart in second, and right out front, Letten Bickler almost at the top of the peak as he's going to double back.
So that's exactly where, right at the top there, that yellow line on the right-hand side is basically Udo's Playground before they get up and over and make their way into Carl's Dinner Main.
Just under 1 hour of riding time so far of the allotted 4 hours. Letten Bickler. We can see our own Paul Bull, close hot pursuit, getting the POV with Letten Bickler out front. And we'll keep our eyes peeled for Tristan Hart to see if he's pulled in Manny.
Yeah. It would be bad to think that anyone's going to do that as well as Manny just did it. That was unbelievable how he found traction at that climb.
And hats off to, course organizers and Carl. The names just sound so inviting. This is Stony Party. Sounds fun, right? Are you invited? I'm going.
I don't think it's what I'm going to be doing on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And Manny looks like he's taking control of the race again.
Yeah.
Fending off Tristan. He needs to try and keep a gap. Look behind. As long as he can't see Tristan Hart, he's going to be happy.
He's still got his goggles on, which I find pretty amazing at this stage of the game. How hot you get in there and how steamed up there. He's still wearing them goggles. That's a good sign for Manny Letten Bickler.
He looks calm and collected
and
in control again. I'm pretty sure he is a little bit rattled though. He knows that they're coming for him.
But again, he does have an advantage. He lost it in machine. They were right on his back wheel. Now again, a little bit of breathing space for Manny Letten Bickler. Picking his way up this insane. Look at that. Look how steep. That's going to go nearly vertical now when he turns left. This is crazy.
You're asking. Wow.
The 30th edition was never going to be easy, was it?
You're asking yourself, where's the chairlift?
This is crazy.
Oh.
This is one of those moments, it's like, this is just crazy. I can't get over this.
Who's going to join the party?
Well, we are still, like as I mentioned, just an hour, 15 minutes into this 4-hour race. Gives us a chance to reflect back. The year was 2016, and one of the most prolific riders in North America, none other than Cody Webb. It was the 1 year where he found the podium here at Red Bull Erzbergrodeo.
For nearly 2 decades, the Bull Erzbergrodeo was dominated almost exclusively by European riders. North American ones were scarce. Their successes, even scarcer, as American freestyle icons like Travis Pastrana repeatedly lost their battles with the Iron Giant. One thing became clear: it wasn't for a lack of trying. Enter Cody Webb. In 2016, Webb became the first American-born rider ever to stand on the podium at the Bull Erzbergrodeo. His second-place finish marked a turning point, the arrival of North American talent on hard enduro's biggest stage. With riders like Tristan Hart rising to the ranks, alongside stars such as Carson Brown bringing new attention to the Erzberg, Cody Webb's influence on the sport cannot be overstated.
Well, it goes without saying, Cody Webb's influence. Well, I'm just going to say it. His influence was so vital for the growth of hard enduro and enduro in North America. And you look at the likes of Tristan Hart. He has had so much influence and so much impact. And it is so great to see Cody Webb back here healthy. And we'll keep our eyes peeled on him, see if he gets into the top 10 conversation. But we shift gears back to Lettbickler, just leading an onslaught. This is what we call just defiant dominance.
He's definitely stepped up. We checked with 17 and 18. He's been the quickest. 31 seconds on checkpoint 17. 38 seconds on checkpoint 17 and 1 minute over Tristan Hart on checkpoint 18.
So he's really charged since they caught up with him.
261 meters doesn't sound like a lot, but I know what we've just seen, and it's a lot.
Should definitely notable mention there. Theodore Kavachiev now just inching now into Ford and Brightmore, respectively, just behind Kavachiev.
Yeah, Kavachiev doing brilliant like he did last year.
Slowly ticking away. Just, I call it the Bulgarian beast mode. Yeah, there's a hunger there.
Well, Teo, he got his first podium here last year. He said in 2024 he didn't finish.
Yeah. Well, going back to that, Mitch Brightmore had no idea there was a tight battle with him back and forth, and he didn't even know that he was in the hunt for third place. Had no idea what place he's in.
Manny just putting it down there briefly.
Look at these sprint times here. It's slowly stacks up. And Mitch Brightmore in second. So passing Tristan Hart right now. So Mitch Brightmore second, Tristan Hart in third, Kavachiev fourth, and Ashton Brightmore now in fifth. Mario Roman slowly creeping up as well.
Yeah. And remember, they got to go through coals again, right? So
yeah, but straight up to this, they're going to Bull Erzbergrodeo, which is basically a little downhill, and it's just more brittle rocks. That's similar to this section. So it's just going to suck out a bit more life before they get down into Carlsbad.
Do you like the slow, kind of methodical approach of an uphill on the boulders, or do you prefer the treachery of a downhill with a saber tooth?
No, I prefer the uphill. I mean, some of these downhills here, some of the previous downhills into Carlsbad, and if you get a runaway, you're going to just slam down into those big rocks. So
when I've said to leave anyone wants to ride a motorbike down there, and you think it's impossible, yet Ali and that, they do actually stay on the bike down these near vertical descents. It's insane.
I've had lots of scary downhills. This Mitch Brightmore coming there. Oh, and Tristan Hutchinson.
Yeah, Tristan's right there with him.
So that's interesting. Mitch has made the pass on Tristan.
And this looks to me to be the hardest section so far, right? It's unbelievably difficult, this.
And I think this is the aspect of hard enduro that's maybe hard to impress upon those that are new to it. Obviously they love the high speeds and the stuff in, the wet forest sections, but this is just the technical aspect of this cannot be underestimated.
No, that's right. You can see how slow Mitch is there, taking his time, being methodical, doesn't want to make a mistake. Of course, the physicality in this cannot be underestimated as well.
Teo Kavachiev has also joined the party there.
Yeah.
3 of them. 3-way fight for second place.
Battling for that third place position. Wow. Incredible.
But less than walking speed is insane. Section. Look at it.
If you're going to get into the section fresh, it's one thing. But I mean, after everything they've done today,
and how do you quiet the noise, too? How do you quiet the noise? You know that you have the competitor right when you're back center. You got to just quiet it down, find the line, get that perfect touch. Yeah. Let the bike do the work.
Fight for second place. And where's baby brother Ash? He's going to be joining them pretty soon, I reckon.
Chris's Stony Party. Battle second there, and Lettbickler gaining distance there with the lead. We have seen it again. We've seen it before, and he's just incredible ability on those opportunities. And what goes through Manny's head? Does he stay focused? Does he look in the rearview mirror ever? Does he even think about it?
He's definitely going to look around and try to see where the rest of the guys are, but he's able to pull a really big gap here. You can see how long it's taken these guys to get up here. Manny cleaned this area nicely. Yeah, he's pulled back some time.
Definitely.
That's 740 meters.
Yeah, he is gone at the moment. And this is such a war of attrition to get a motorcycle through it. Look, Mitch, looking like he needs to go back to get up on a rock. Like they're puzzling. They don't even know. They can't work out how to get through it. It's so difficult. And look at that. Tristan's done enough. He's like, yeah, I'm not waiting for you anymore.
This could be the deciding section of this year's Erzberg. He made short work of this. He did puzzle a little bit.
I agree.
And you see that, yeah, Tristan just muscling his way through. I love hearing too when Mitch Bregor talks about that trials background and like him and his brother, how they would just fuel each other. And really grow from that ability. I mean, obviously, it's a huge advantage having that trials background, especially in situations like this. But
while we're talking as well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Pat. Mario Romano is making his way up the field. He's in foot at the moment.
And he will thrive in sections like this.
The harder and the longer it is, the heavier Mario
He's super, super fit. But look at this side. Tristan Hart looking like he has got ahead of Mitch, who's still struggling a little bit further down. Tristan managing to get another couple of meters there up the top of the screen. Oh, I mean, this is actually madness to me to see bikes in here.
Well, it's the best in the world, and they're struggling. You just have to know how difficult it is.
It's insane. It really is. Yeah, I think anyone watching this could probably relate to
Now,
just how wild this is.
there you can see the true gradient. I mean, put it into perspective. I struggled to walk some of these sections yesterday. It's really like hiking, and you're going to be riding motorbikes there.
and it almost stings when you see on the other side of the tape on the way back someone passing you. Could kind of fuel your fire.
Yeah.
Tristan, wow. Just avoiding those holes, having that perfect time. Maybe
Another two bikes. Another two bikes coming into the mix.
But yeah, still on that turn there. So difficult up there before they fire up. Tristan creeping away now from Mitch.
So, Olympian sighting on course. 3-time gold medalist. So he's on course. He's charging.
I think quite a big difference from the snow of the Alpine slopes to the rocks of Eisenitz.
Bit of contrast there.
3-time Olympic gold medalist, and just see what he can do in Erzberg. It's so cool to see.
It was mad the difference, wasn't it? Just looking at these guys and what we saw with Manny, like he did get through here. It seemed to be a bit quicker than this.
I mean, like the last 3 years, Manny's won by 10 minutes every year, more than 10 minutes. And these are the kind of sections that are going to do that.
Yeah.
That's what's deceiving about this, Chris's Stony Party, Carl's Dinner Light.
Come on, Mario. You got it.
How far away now from Segway are we? I mean, it's a little way away, but we think that will stop them. We think that could stop them.
We're a long way from Segway. We've still got Carl's Dinner to contend with, right?
Carl's Dinner, but again,
Ah.
you've seen it before. Manny would have to falter.
Yeah.
And then Tristan would have to just stay completely pinned and then close that gap and able to take full opportunity of it.
Mitch hasn't got a problem.
I think he's looking for somewhere to get that back wheel settled where he can fire off at that next section. I mean, if they're off moving rocks, you don't often see that, right? They don't often give themselves the time to do moves like that. That's exactly what he's doing. He's on that rear mudguard now, and he's just going to try and fire it. And bias then.
In Mitch Brightmore's defense, he was a bricklayer. He was doing masonry with his dad, so it comes second nature.
He feels more comfortable than most in there. And there he goes. The back wheel doesn't quite get up for him, and he's back to where he started, just like that. loses time, loses masses of energy as well. He's got to go again.
You can see for these guys, fatigue's really starting to set in now.
This is a fight. Jeff's got that front wheel buried in there. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Madness.
This for me just elevates Manny Erzbergrodeo.
Yes. Shows how special it is, doesn't it? Huh?
And you're witnessing hard enduro history with every competition that Manny enters. You're going to be able to say, I was there and I watched the Celsius. I watched the veritable clinics that he would put on, and he would do it in such a humble fashion. I mean, he's such an incredible ambassador for the sport.
Manny's going to be exactly where he wants to be. He's going to get into Carlston and have a look around, and he'll be able to manage his lead from there.
Yeah.
And control his race. As things are starting to match up, yeah.
That second chase group trying to really let Deckler.
How tough is Chris's stony penalty? I do not want an envelope to this next year. Forget it.
Well, when we walked it was, kind of like doable, but the way that they planted it off there has made it like 5 times more difficult.
It's really, really difficult. My goodness, man.
Well, they say you can become a master and put 1,000 hours into anything, but would you want to put 1,000 hours into this? Because then you put on a master class, and then you see those students that have yet to, log in the hours. Obviously, these are all the top of the sport, but it shows you how brutal this level of hard enduro is.
But Chev's up there now. He's made it up again.
I mean, as a fan, there's never disappoints. As a competitor, but you definitely can become disappointed.
Then yeah, the Austrian doing great.
And Mario Roman, first time we've seen him now.
Yeah,
on his first KTM. Mario's going to enjoy picking the guys off one at a time. He's in a happy place right now.
He could come forward to the podium quite easily now, Mario Roman. Don't make any mistake about that. Yeah, this is the start where he will shine in this race. Yeah, really, really difficult. It was really tired. He will come to life more and more, I think.
All the races we've seen, the harder it gets, the better he gets.
Yeah, agreed.
He absolutely loves it.
Yeah. But that's only just passable for these dudes, isn't it?
Look at it. The fact that it is, and the fact that they make it possible, I think it's that it makes it that much more elusive to all the young riders.
Yeah.
They can see it's possible, and so that's what they go after. And that we were talking about it. It's like such a big, huge cog of what makes Erzberg so special. Is
Chef's out, I think.
Okay, that's not going. It's the top of Winners Playground. Sorry, top of Mr. Stone Party making their way off to Winners Playground.
Yeah.
James Moore.
This is where he needs those.
Any Carlson in the middle on the stock wagon.
and what real keep our eyes on that. Just how his bike's navigating. Kind of the agility. James Moore.
Oh, these nice long legs. Remember, coming in from South Africa, James Moore won the Roof of Africa last year. At home in the rocks. And his long legs are certainly going to help him.
And who did he beat there?
Manny Erzbergrodeo.
There you go. So that's not going to say that you belong in the conversation. Nothing well.
Well, James Moore beating Manny fair and square at the Roof was certainly a turn for the books.
Oh, yeah.
The only guy really to beat Manny in the last year.
Forever playing.
Yeah, that's right.
Super exciting to see James moving at the order there. First time at Erzberg. Doesn't know where he's going, doesn't know what to expect.
I feel like, would you say, compared to previous years, I feel like there's so much more excitement in the conversation of the young upcoming riders. I feel like there's like the tap has been officially opened.
Yeah, it was like halfway, and now it's like full gas.
So much talent, and I was starting to have the conversation about how it's really that integral cog. The strength of Bull Erzbergrodeo is that bubbling up of the youth talent. It establishes so many careers year after year. And I've been amazed that walking the pits and meeting these young amateur riders. And people have come from all around the world to be here in Austria. Someone that we ran into all the way from China, if you can believe it, he's the focus of one of our amateur postcards.
23岁了，我来自贵州新疆越野机车俱乐部。越野摩托车是我的最大爱好，当然也是我在中国的职业，所以说我基本上都在骑越野车。这次我骑的车是深唐的斯塔克，这台车也是斯塔克工厂赞助的，同时这场比赛也是他们赞助的。是我第一次骑越野摩托车，1年后得知了这个比赛。能来厄兹伯格参赛已经是我的梦想完成一半，但是完成比赛，这是我最大的梦想。如果真的能完成比赛，我会非常开心。
And unfortunately, Yangjing broke his arm in the prologue. We wish him a speedy recovery, and we love to see that passion coming all the way from China as we jump back in to the struggle. It continues. The rest of the pack trying to make their way up early portions of the course as we bring everyone up to speed now on checkpoint 19 and 27. Manuel Lettenbeckler looking for a 4-peat, a 5th consecutive win here at Bull Erzbergrodeo, followed by Canadian Tristan Hart. Mitch Brightmore closely contesting for that 3rd position with Theodore Tabachiev and Michael Wagner, the Austrian, moving up to 5th.
Ryder LeBlanc now.
Prospects.
And again, Toby Watson, 2nd of our Stark Fox.
Pushing and shoving, yeah, he's a big strong lad and needs to be in there as well.
It's always like, you don't have a clinch, so how do you put the power down? So we'll have to get a close-up look now.
Yeah.
Have a look at the back wheel and see what it does.
Yeah, but getting used to the lack of two-stroke, it's got to be it's quiet with Carlos Dinner. You can actually
look how he looks like he's had enough. Maybe Toby, the subframe looking pretty bent on the back of that.
Yeah, he's been off start, also a little bit heavier than the combustion bikes. 115 kilograms. This is just over 100 for a 300 two-stroke.
Which has got to make some difference when you're pushing and shoving in the rocks like this, right?
And John, he actually quite a bit light to be sitting at 100 kilograms for grams bike.
It brings it back to the conversation. How many years does it take for these younger competitors in the trial scene to get comfortable with that clutch?
Yeah.
How long is it going to take to get comfortable with that? Basically, almost an infinite range of torque.
Yeah,
Basically, there's wrist control versus clutch control.
Yeah, Eddie Carson was telling me that it's taken him quite a while, at least 3 months on the bike to start getting used to how to find that traction and how to even to pivot the bike.
What it means.
Julian Williams, I think his money, you shouldn't have to be money the way he went up that climb there.
Yeah, he has that.
You can be proud of that moment.
Yeah, well, Julian Wurzel.
He'll be showing everyone this. Yeah, look, this is my subject for money.
Yeah. It's such
It is over, yeah.
long full pull, jumping back into Chris's stony party.
Looks like he's got it there pretty easily. Yeah, for the child background that Tony's got.
Yeah, he kind of did the traction on the way out. That was nice to see.
And I knew they didn't hear the record, Rob. You were uninvited at Chris's stony party.
Yeah, please. Can I see where No, I won't be going. Okay. I've no interest in a party like this on Sunday. No, absolutely zero.
Going to be exciting to see you get Central down and be checking in with the rest of the competitive field as they're trying to make their way up. Last hour of competition, we're going to have Billy Bolt jump into the booth. Now check with him, see how the recovery is.
6 times expectation. Can he make it number 7? Looks like he's well on track to do so. I think time at the moment's on his favor.
And just let you know, you love to see Austrians in the conversation. Obviously, it's running.
Austrian trials background. And he's also won silver at Romaniacs.
What's your in your heart? You love this long, like the stamina over 5 days, or do you just like to get utilized in one day?
Well, this is nothing one day. You've got a good 2 hard days of riding.
Yeah.
Romania, especially for many, 5 hard days of riding.
And you watch, but on my day 3, day 4, just the impact it has on the riders. But I love what Erzberg does, especially with the fans. It just encapsulates it. It just it shows you the pain and the struggle and all the skill sets that are needed in your motor toolbox in such a short amount of time. And looking back at some amateur highlights so far here, running out the Bull Erzbergrodeo. Wow. Yeah. More than one way.
Doesn't like the downhills.
Walk through nice. You go through the odds. Shifting a strong placing here in Austria. Low big or break. Rear. So many hands working so hard. Putting everything they have.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys. What's up, buddy? I don't know how you guys wanna the video. If you wanna vertical or you wanna horizontal like this. Uh, let's see. How it looks better, guys. This way or this way? You guys tell me. What's up, buddy? I don't know if you guys looking on Spanish or English. No sé si están viendo el video en español o en inglés. But I would like to know how it looks better. If the video looks better like this way or should I turn this way?
It's horrendous trying to let a bike out on these things.
You know what we got? That's the way to go down.
Oh, making the back wheel. That's so serious. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's messing this still. It's not very well like those people fucking play that with this thing, mate. One chance.
Hola amigo, hola amigo. Soy de Estados Unidos. ¿Y tú? ¿Cómo estás? Saludos. Estoy aquí disfrutando de la carrera en vivo del Red Bull, del Erzbergrodeo. Está en vivo. No sé si me puedes ver mejor así, en vertical o volteo el teléfono horizontal. ¿Qué tal se ve? Dime. La carrera va muy intensa. Manny lleva el primer lugar, como siempre. Voy muy cerca, pegado de Mario Roman. Saludos, soy de Chile. Así está bien. Ok, muy bien. Muy bien, saluditos. Saludos hasta Chile. Saluditos hasta Chile, amigo. Es una de las carreras más exigentes que hay. ¿Qué tal Chile, amigo? ¿Qué hora es ahora en Chile?
Oh, yeah. Many riders will never leave this area of the course to start. But as far as I think, without a doubt, it's moments like these that's really come to define like Bull Erzbergrodeo. Just the struggle and the sheer determination of the young amateur that's tried this years. And some have been coming back for years.
Well, watching this is why everybody wants to come and try it themselves. For what reason, I don't know.
¿Qué? ¿En serio? 42 años ya. 42 años de mecánico. Eso es bastante. Muchísimo tiempo. Has de saber mucho de motos, la verdad, ¿verdad? para trabajar tanto tiempo en algo, pues ya se te hace de costumbre armar y desarmar motos. Las 8:39. Ah, ok, tenemos el mismo horario. Aquí son las 8:40 igual, de la mañana. Estamos en el mismo horario. Sí, yo soy de Estados Unidos. Estoy mirando ahora el en vivo de la carrera que están pasando, el Red Bull.
This is tough. Watch the strike the stop block. You see how quick he assesses, recalibrates, and then he slow, methodical, moto perfection.
Reassess again, go again, a little bit further, another bite left. Just reset, look what's next, go again. It's such an exhausting process. And there's no one better at it than Randy Letters. Look at him hanging right off the back of that fight. Is he even on the back mud guards? Yeah, just about.
Read the body language, appreciate the steepness.
Yeah.
Almost unwalkable. It's arcing chair already. Right, so the check with so runners are going to transplant on their right wrist, and they're going to get within 2 meters of the funnel there. And they'll get their time recorded. It's the checkpoint you under race.
This is going to be losing ground.
Oh, 1.2 kilometers at the top of the screen. That's a good arc, but I want to say it 5-10 minutes unfolding.
Just over 6 minutes. Hard is going to have to make up for it. But again, I mean, we're trying to speculate what's going to happen. That's really that new section.
It can come back together there. Is that, you really expect it to be that difficult, don't you?
Yeah, I think Segway is going to be the deciding climb of the race.
Yeah.
It's really, crazy difficult.
It was crazy difficult. Will you do it in one money? That was the big question. It's like, I don't know. It's touch and go whether it's even on. We think yesterday will be up to it.
Yeah, that's the old race highway. So the area's been completely filled in a bit, like a completely new section.
How has that been coming back year after year for you? First year you competed was what year?
2000, 26 years ago. Yeah.
And you come back and the course that you just competed on is completely filled in.
Yeah, that section of the line every year is completely different.
And look at the crossing. Look at the pile up back at the crossing. Unbelievable. And then to be able to realign and get a clean lead, an angle, and find your line with this many competitors jockeying for position.
And the track just getting worse and worse. Every little bit of a step and everything has been moved. Just wheel spun out. And one line, there's no other way out. And the clock is ticking. I mean, these guys know they're not going to make a finish. And they're trying to get to the furthest checkpoint that they can.
9:27. They've done all right so far, though. These look at this.
I mean, just honestly, to get into Carl's Den is an accomplishment on its own.
It really is. Have you seen those early forest sections? Just how difficult they are.
Coming back into Carl's dinner, Bickler looking calm as ever. Complete control. So cool.
Estoy trabajando en este momento en una KTM 125 y una Honda CRB 400. El aéreo del 86 me especializó en motos antiguas. Ah, bueno, mira, qué curiosidad, ¿verdad? A mí me gustan mucho las motos antiguas. Me llaman mucho la atención. La KTM y la KTM 125, ¿qué año es? Las motos antiguas son las mejores, amigo. Son de lo mejor, son unas joyas las motos antiguas. Lo mejor que hay, buen metal, buen motor, todo. Lástima que pues sí, el tiempo las deteriora y todo.
There's no loose rocks. There's enough traction really on these big rocks, but the size and the scale of the hole between them is phenomenal, isn't it? Look at that.
Especially on the side that he's in at the moment. They're kind of like the bigger rocks on the Carl's Den.
Well, going for a little piece of history here for Manuel Lettbickler, going for a 5-piece. Only 2 other competitors have 5 wins at Erzberg. And one of them specifically went from no name to factory rider, none other than Taddy Pazuziak. Let's hear his story.
From no name to factory rider to record champion. One of the wildest stories in Red Bull Erzbergrodeo history dates back to the 2007 edition. That year, a young Polish rider by the name of Bull arrives at the race as a privateer. But fearing he might destroy his own bike in the main event, he suddenly found himself in need of the bike. Erzbergrodeo mastermind Paul Papa, already aware of the Superlight's extraordinary talent, picked up the phone and called his friend Heinz Kinnegadner. And the rest is history. Lazuzia on a border bike went on to win the first of his 5 consecutive Red Bull Erzbergrodeo titles and left Iron Giant as a KTM factory rider. His rise from unknown privateer to record-setting champion inspired an entire generation of riders determined to follow his footsteps.
So let that sink in. You you ride on a borrowed bike and you win Red Bull Erzbergrodeo, and then you back it up with 4 more wins. That's a lot.
And do this 5 times in a row like Manny is trying to do today. It's you can't believe it. How can you do this 5 times and not have anything go wrong with the blind yourself, not fall off, get hurt? It's crazy.
It's unfathomable.
Yeah.
Hearing from Alfie Cox earlier, and to just imagine back in '95 when Alfie first competed. I love the story too. How Alfie got you to compete, and you just showed up to watch him, and he's like, "No, you're riding."
Yeah, Alfie was a pioneer for us. He did Dakar podiums and everything else, and he was always busy with the World Enduro and European Enduro rounds. And then all of a sudden we heard about this race, Erzberg, and then Romaniacs followed. And if it wasn't for Alfie, then we wouldn't have got into it.
As much crazy terrain as you have in South Africa, when you first got here and you laid eyes on Erzberg, was it way bigger and way more daunting than you probably imagined?
Yeah, it was. I mean, when we got here, we saw like the steepest of these climbs. Like this is one of the crazy downhills. We don't have stuff like that. We've got rocks and mountains, but nothing quite the same as Erzberg. So terrifying, really.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on Tristan Hart to see if he can peel in, or kind of reel in Lettenbichler, because Lettenbichler is just looking unstoppable.
He is that.
With each checkpoint, he's just checking a little bit more time, a little bit more distance between him and Tristan Hart.
And this is exactly right for Manny. He can look back, and as long as he can see nobody, he's going to do Carl's dinner twice. He's going to
De las primeras, la Quintero KTM, la famosa válvula de emisión para bajas, el preamps, los tiempos y la Honda CR-V es una joya muy subdócil. Claro, claro, la Honda es muy dócil. Yo he visto muchas CR-Vs muy bonitas y muy dóciles, ah, y muy confiables también. No tienen muchos problemas, no dan problemas. Y la KTM, claro, los 2 tiempos hay que arreglarles eso, ¿verdad? Yo no sé mucho de mecánica, pero de vez en cuando le hago ahí sus cositas a las motos mías.
Tristan dropping down into the start of Carl's dinner now.
Yeah, you see, we're starting to see that distance between him and Manny.
They're going to come out, actually, they literally go in Carl's dinner along it back and they exit right by the side of where they just went into it there as well.
Half a kilometer, 487 meters, give or take.
It must be bad. It must be steep and bad if Tristan's allowing himself a few seconds to work out a way down it. Look at this.
And where did you have to go in your head in that mindset did you ever be started to question, like, is this worth it? Or like, how do you flip it into a gear that you can just persevere and push through, especially when you're in that last 30% of the race?
No, I know there was something so fresh and so new. It was like this challenge of this completely different terrain and formative race. So, I mean, we just took it as it came.
Yeah, and interesting enough, we're seeing Tristan hop off the bike in this one section of Carl's dinner.
It's so steep the descent down to it that he's literally decided it's like, I don't want to ride down it. I don't blame him. I wonder if Manny did. I wouldn't have been surprised, actually.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it doesn't look steep, but they're brutal, these downhills.
Yeah, you can't believe anyone is going to put them up like that.
And just saying as well, when the first time I came here, there wasn't coverage, so you couldn't actually see what you were going to. We didn't know what you were going to go into. Now you can see exactly.
Now it's just off as an amateur. You have no one to blame but yourself.
Exactly.
You've been shown the tapes. You know what you're getting into. That's a good point. And I just want to keep hammering home the point. I mean, when we watch the likes of Manny, Tristan Hart, Mitch Bryson, when they're going through and what they're able to do in these sections, they are the best of the best. I mean, they make it look well doable, which it is not for 99.9% of it.
Look at Manny's pacing.
Look at this.
Yeah, look at his pace. I mean, he's just mad how fast he goes. He minimises the risks and really takes his time and puts that bike exactly where he wants on the insane stuff. And on the insane stuff for normal people, it's just so easy for Manny. Look at this.
Yeah, and don't be confused. That's not a line spotter, which they had back in the day. They'd have people telling them where to go. That's our own Paul Bolton getting the POV. And we're going to be showing some of that footage, hopefully later in the show today. But we and a recap program on Friday the 12th. So be sure to look for that. All of that on-course POV from Paul Bolton and the rest of our team. We love that. We love the POV with Paul. They're nothing better than bolts.
No.
He's
so annoying to sport that with bolts either.
I was going to see how long he's going to be able to stay with Manny because,
I mean, yeah, I'm worried about bolts going into a hole.
Justin, the Chinese race to the building.
Chain off or something.
Looks like it.
Is he? That's bad news.
So look and see if it is the chain. If he moves his bike backwards, it'll be the chain. No, it's back on.
Yeah, he looked at something, didn't he?
Can't say it was the chain.
No,
It just maybe got a little bit hung up there.
so it's all good for Tristan, it looks like.
And you look,
Yeah, you can see
look at the distance between Tristan and Manny as we.
Clearly, you can see the double tape there. You can see the two lines. They're going to go all the way down and they're going to come all the way back.
Wow, and then
Hell no, there is no way.
distance. We saw where we left off with Tristan moving up through Carl's Dinner proper, the main entree.
Manny's going to be able to conserve some energy here. He's going to be able to just take a breather and really manage this last quarter of the race.
Watch the sufferfest.
It's unbelievable when you see that shot of how
It just, and you know what? If it's easy, why do it? I mean, this is obstacle immunity at its finest.
and look at Manny's lead now in real time to see it like that really brings home just how dominant he's been here again today.
But it would.
If I was to watch the race, look at the spectators. That is a perfect place to watch. You can see
Yeah.
Voy a pausar el video.
Carl's Dinner.
Yeah.
And I think if Tristan had his eyes on that.
Voy a pausar el video y voy a volver a tirarlo porque se puso para. No lo puedo voltear, creo, de nuevo.
Probably the longest you've ever had to get through in your life.
I would say demoralizing when you come into Carl's Dinner and you look down that line and you can't see another bike. Man, that's going to hurt.
It's good. It's got your heart, isn't it?
Well, even double heartbreak is.
No me deja voltear la pantalla.